am left with nothing. I don't have an apartment. I don't have a job. I am here alone.
I got my real estate license.
Right.
I'm selling homes. I'm having a lot of fun.
Here I am crying over him, and he could care less about me.
I want a conservative, conservative Christian woman is who I'm looking for.
I hate you.
Awesome! I just watched episode 11 of this Happily Ever After season, and I really want to talk about Ed in this episode. So this is when we are getting the first glimpse of Ed by himself in an intro, which kind of surprised me, because I thought that once Ed and Liz were done, that would be it. They would show Liz packing her stuff with her mom at the house, then Angela, unfortunately, would take over Ed's spot and we wouldn't see Ed and Liz again. But that is not what's happening here. Instead, we get footage of Ed alone without Liz, and it would make sense to see how Ed is doing without Liz since they just had this big breakup and canceled their wedding. But he's just going along with life like nothing happened. So this is 2 weeks after him and Liz broke up and Liz left with her daughter. She still has to come back to Arkansas to completely move out, but their relationship is over. And Ed is pretty much taking the camera crew around, talking about how he's so excited about his new job. He's talking about how he's excited about being single. He says he's just ready to be on this new adventure and find the right woman for him because Liz wasn't.
I would trick myself into believing that if I don't make it work with Liz, I'll never be with anybody else.
It's like she's just trash to him now and he just doesn't care at all. It's just so weird. It's like the 3 years with Liz are just gone and he doesn't seem to have any emotions or feelings about her anymore. Doesn't this just feel strange? Because we just saw Liz, all sad, packing her bags to go back to California with her daughter. Ed even says this emotional goodbye to Liz's daughter, like he cares. And Liz is just devastated. And what's really twisted in this scene specifically, as she's getting ready to leave, I really think she thinks she's going to go back to Arkansas after a few weeks, and they will just get back together again for the millionth time. I mean, that's the only explanation I have for her wearing a Big Ed hoodie in this scene. That makes no sense unless she still has some sort of twisted hope. I was trying to think if there was any other filming explanation for her wearing this hoodie because they sort of try to hide it under her hair. I thought maybe she was wearing something that they couldn't show on the show, like a branded t-shirt, and they were in a rush to the airport or something. So Ed threw her that hoodie to throw on and then flipped his shirt inside out. Why do I feel like his face is on the other side of this inside out tank top? But even if that was the case, hey Liz, quickly change your shirt, wear this hoodie, why? Why would she wear that? Why not dig for literally any other shirt in her suitcase? That's right there. My point is that the gravity of what Ed did, we're witnessing it slowly sink in for Liz on this episode and on episode 10 previously. Regardless if she thinks that this is the last true breakup or not, what Ed did was the absolute worst. And I think as time is going on, Liz is justifiably starting to have an emotional breakdown over it. We can slowly see this eating at Liz, but then we pan over to Ed, and we just have Ed over here with this new confidence. His biggest concern is who is now going to clean his house.
So I now got to think about, do I hire a cleaning lady or do I start, cleaning the house myself?
I kept thinking to myself when we watched Ed go to his new job. I know that Liz probably doesn't want to relive a lot of this, but if she were to see some of the scenes from the show this season, I would love for her to see this one. Because this Liz is who you were devastated about losing. This guy. Look at him next to the mailbox. Let's do a little rewind. Yeah, this is the guy you're devastated over. So I have included some old clips of when Ed and Liz first met. Mostly, I've talked about how different and full of life Liz looked when she first met Ed. It's so obvious just from the short intros of Liz talking when Ed first meets her, how different she came off back then. She seemed so much happier, and it feels like looking at her now that Ed took more than just 3 years out of her. So I've shown her, but I also want to show how different Ed looks back from then as well. It's only fair. He's being so shitty in these episodes, even shittier than normal. He's just acting like stopping a wedding was nothing for him. So I went back and looked, and he's actually even more embarrassing then than he is now, in more of a pathetic way. So if Ed happens to stumble upon this video, I want him to relive how embarrassing he was back then, because it's bad. The secondhand embarrassment I feel watching it is real. Let me show you what I mean. For some reason, when I think of when Ed met Liz, I think of him on season 2 of The Single Life. I actually had to go and look at season 1 of The Single Life to jog my memory of what it was like when he did meet Liz. And then I remembered right when I saw it, this is when Ed had that witch hair thing going on. The long black hair. Yeah, this guy is the one who wooed Liz 3 years ago. He literally looks like a witch, and he was not smooth at all with Liz. Their first date was really awkward. Liz seemed to just go for the free brunch.
What did you think of me when you first met me? And be honest.
I thought you were a woman.
I'm guessing now she wishes she never went for the free brunch. And then there was that weird cringe nose kiss because Liz was not ready to be kissed and Ed tried to force it. Ugh. Yeah, remember that, Ed? One of the most uncomfortable scenes I've ever seen on the show. So when I say to myself, what did Liz see in Ed early on? And then what does she see in him now? Looking back at his witch look and then watching him walk by that mailbox, we still have no idea, do we? We have no idea what Liz sees in Ed or ever saw in Ed. He's almost worse back then, too. I mean, I guess less mean, but more creepy. But now all we see is who is getting the worst end of this breakup. Ed is over here getting his new career going. He got his real estate license in Arkansas with Liz.
I mean, up until about a few weeks ago, I thought I'd be doing all of this with Liz, and now, she's gone.
And he can still continue to use that. I do have to wonder though, does he really think that many people would want to buy houses from him? I feel like if he was showing a house, he would just make uncomfortable jokes the whole time. Or if you're a woman buying a house under the age of 28, I wouldn't be surprised if he made you uncomfortable in some way. And even if he does take it seriously, I'm sure that many people will know who he is, right? But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's his biggest problem. Will he be able to successfully sell houses in Arkansas? Liz, on the other hand, is over here saying goodbye to her daughter. Her daughter is heading back out of the country to be with her dad and stepmom. Liz only gets her daughter for the summer and school breaks, so she is now alone. She has no job back in California. Her real estate license is only good in Arkansas, and she has no place to live. Like, she is in a bad spot. And there have been so many times that Ed could have ended things before they set a wedding date, before Liz literally gave up everything to be with him. But instead, he dropped her just a few weeks before their scheduled, planned, and paid for wedding. And then instantly Ed acts like he's ready to be single and find someone else, even though it looks like he is smelling a fart in his first solo intro. Yes, he had this whole emotional goodbye to Liz's daughter, saying he loved her, but then did not even call or check in when she left the country.
Does Ed even know that she's gone?
No.
Has he even called you?
No.
God, what a prick.
And it seemed like it took her daughter leaving for all of this to really hit Liz too. And it hits her hard. And Mr. Egg over here doesn't seem to care at all. I try to remind myself that even though with the timing, the method, and even with the continued drama we are about to witness that is coming with Liz coming back to Arkansas to get her stuff, that yes, Ed and Liz not getting married was the best for the both of them. But man, Ed just really did Liz dirty.
Here I am crying over him, and he could care less about me.
And the even crappier part about this is that they have to be setting up the Single Life filming for him now. I think that how they have Ed filming alone with the new intro kind of gives that away. Did anyone see a solo intro for Liz? No. When it was Liz's turn on the show, we just got a little San Diego, California tag thing.
Big Ed the Fly wants to remind you to subscribe to this channel.
You're my best view.
Like, are you dating? Are you single? Who's that perfect partner for you, Ed?
All of the above. So I'm back in Arkansas, my hometown.
Right.
And, I want a Southern charm. I want a conservative, conservative Christian woman is who I'm looking for.
I think Ed did exactly what he said he did. He thought he couldn't find anyone else to be with him, so he just kept going back to Liz. But what I don't understand is what finally prompted him to cut things off before the wedding. He says it was the taco pasta fight, but I'm wondering more about why does he suddenly think he can find someone else? Let's be real. He's 58 and has the most unrealistic expectations to date young, beautiful women. After their fight over taco pasta, did a producer approach Ed and say, hey, if you guys break your contract and don't get married on camera, we will get you on the Single Life? This is all just me speculating, but I just really wonder what the switch was. Ed went from telling Liz's mom he wanted to take care of her forever to canceling a wedding over one fight over food. Something about that just seems so sudden. Even if it was a mixture of Ed not wanting to be a stepdad and a husband, what was what made him pull the plug on the whole thing? I can't imagine that one fight would do that even in front of his family. Even his family is probably disappointed in some way that he canceled a wedding that they were going to come to. Comment below what you think it was. What caused Ed to just end things and not look back? Was it the idea of him being a husband? Was it the idea of him being a stepdad? Was it really taco pasta, or was it something else? My final thought on this is that I am surprised by Ed's new confidence. That was something I just did not expect while watching this episode. He seems so ready to just move on and find someone else. He is not acting like he just ended a 3-year relationship and canceled a wedding. Liz is the one acting like those things are happening. And the difference between their reactions is just crazy to see side by side now. I knew Ed was a dick, but he really just comes across as heartless in this episode to me. And I have to know, who the heck does he think is going to date him now? Again, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!